I really messed up, and I have no one to blame but myself. I should have just stuck to my guns and everything would have been alright. But the thing is, I'm not the most reasonable decision maker, which is why I'm sitting here in this beach chair and not out there doing what I love to do. Anyway, if you can hit that subscribe button right now, that would really help out my channel, and I can continue to make content that might actually help you out once in a while. You know how I've been whining and complaining about shin splints forever? Yeah, I know, it's getting pretty tiresome. Since my first and last marathon, I've been dealing with it on and off forever. I was pretty much at the last stages and I thought I was, getting better. And what do when you start to feel better after an injury? You push it a little harder than you know you should. And then I started to notice a little bit of soreness around my knee and I'm like, oh, now I'm gonna get runner's knee all over again after spending all this time trying to get over my shin splints. So right about that time, I was feeling a little bit of soreness around the knees. I got this one comment. It wasn't a nasty comment or anything like that. I think they were just trying to be helpful, but I couldn't get it out of my mind. They basically said that heel striking was awful for you and that if you wanted to avoid injuries, you should be running on your forefoot. Have you guys heard this before? I've also read a lot of articles to the contrary that says it doesn't really matter whether you're a forefoot striker or a heel striker when it comes to injuries. In fact, I'll link an article down below in the description that kind of tells you about 60% they've studied of professional long distance runners, they're heel strikers. But it wasn't so much about what the comment actually said, it was more about my reaction to the comment. Am I really so stuck in my ways that I'm not open to any sort of new suggestions? Have I become that old fart that I never wanted to be? Am I incapable of changing? I always thought I was pretty open-minded, which is why I love trying different kinds of shoes. And I started to really think that I've reached that age where I didn't want to make any changes that would make me uncomfortable. So the next time I got out there, I took this guy's advice and I started running on my forefoot. It didn't feel comfortable, obviously, because I was changing the way I was running for my entire life. The first 30 minutes, it was okay, I could focus and really make sure I landed on my forefoot. But then as I got tired toward the second half of the run, sometimes I did and sometimes I didn't. And you know what? The runner's knee that I was starting to develop, it went away completely. I didn't have the pain anymore. It was a freaking miracle. And you know what? The soreness in my shins that I usually get when I start running, I didn't get that either. And as much as I hate to admit it, I think I've been wrong the entire time. And all those articles I read, maybe they were just a load of BS. So I ran like that for about a couple of months, having no instances of feeling any kind of injuries coming on. It was liberating. I did notice that my calves were a little bit sore, but I didn't really think that much about it. But anytime when things are starting to go my way, it never lasts. About halfway through my usual 6-mile run, I started to feel this incredibly sharp pain in my calf. It literally felt like someone had a knife and was stabbing me in the back of the leg. I had to stop. I tried to run a little bit more to see if I can just work through the pain, but there was no way. I was done. I messed myself up. I totally changed my mechanics trying to avoid an injury, and that's exactly what happened. I f***ed myself up big time. Old age is a bitch. But hey, the silver lining is that I tried something new. And I know it didn't work out, but I know that I'm still open to trying new things at my age. And I'm not that old fart that I was afraid to become. The other positive is that it ended up being a pretty minor injury. I think I took a week off. It's definitely still a little bit tender, but it wasn't like I was out for weeks. I learned an important lesson from this, both for my running and for life. Don't go changing your mechanics just because of some comments. Especially for those of you who are older in your life, like I am. The smallest changes are likely to cause an injury. It's good to try new things though, because the body ends up plateauing at a certain point, but be very careful about your mechanics because that little change can, put you out for a couple of weeks. So I guess forefoot striking isn't the answer for me, but maybe I should try midfoot striking. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments if you guys have tried to alter your mechanics and where you ended up. Did you end up getting hurt like me? Maybe you had better results. Anyway, see you next time.